If you search for a VPN, you'll be absolutely bombarded with a ton of ads and sponsored reviews. However, not all VPN companies adopt such an aggressive tactic. HideMe is a way lesser known name in the VPN industry, but as far as I can tell, it has most of the features that NordVPNs of the world have. So let's just jump into it. To start, here are 4 small but cool things about this VPN. VPN speeds seem fast. Here's my original speed without a VPN, here's me connected to my country's VPN, here's Japan, which is very far away from me but still delivers fast performance, and here's Australia, which is probably the furthest country from me, but speed is pretty decent actually. They give you the ability to test out beta features before they roll out in the lab section, which is cool to experiment with. It has a split tunneling feature, which allows you to select which apps are using the VPN. For example, Chrome could be VPN free, but your torrent app could be using a VPN. There are quite a lot of advanced settings in the app itself, so if you know what you're doing, you can really customize this VPN. But there are things that I dislike. On their website, it says that HideMe has over 2,000 servers. Wait, why would you need that many servers? Well, VPN industry is kinda crazy when it comes to server counts. NordVPN has over 5,000 servers, Surfshark has 3,000, and Private Internet Access has 35,000 servers. And actually, it's not just a marketing trick. More servers means more resources available to all users. A larger server amount means that most likely you'll be connected to a server that is not overloaded, and it will give you the best performance possible. To simplify, the more servers you have, the better. However, the problem with HideMe is that you cannot connect to all 2,000 servers. In the app, there's no option to select a different server. You can only access the 70 available locations. I think what HideMe is doing is just automatically connecting you to the fastest available server in that location, which from the usability standpoint does make sense. But as a paying customer, I believe that I should be able to use the service to its full potential. Other VPNs let you select any server you want, even if it has worse performance. I was a bit skeptical at first, since some streaming services such as Netflix sometimes block certain VPN servers. But this problem is mitigated with dedicated streaming servers that HideMe is offering. In my experience, I never had a problem with unlocking Netflix shows that are restricted to some specific country. Okay, so let's do a live test with no cuts to see does HideMe really unlock Netflix or other streaming services. So I live in Europe and I cannot watch The Car on Netflix. So if I go to Netflix and search for The Car, I get some results, but there's no result for that exact movie. So let's use HideMe, and I'm gonna go to the streaming specific servers and select United States. Connecting, and let's open a new window and then go to Netflix and then search for The Car. Here you can see the movie, and I can click on it and it loads like just any other Netflix show. So in fact, HideMe does unlock Netflix or other streaming services. What really pisses me off is the usage of the phrase military-grade encryption on their website. HideMe uses AES 256-bit encryption. All VPNs use this exact same encryption, and they all pass around this phrase all the frickin' time. But what does military-grade actually mean? Let me give you an example. A military-grade knife could be produced according to the specifications of the Colombian army. You'll get the same knife as a Colombian soldier, but it can still be a poorly made knife. Military-grade doesn't necessarily mean that something is high quality or uses some proprietary technology. Same as with encryption. In fact, most of the programs you're familiar with already use AES 256-bit encryption. Chrome, Firefox, Safari, even Internet Explorer, RIP, is already using AES 256-bit encryption for like 10 years now. Point is that the encryption is very solid. The only thing I dislike is that marketing is very confusing. They try to make everything sound super fancy, even though the technology is already being used by literally everyone. Introducing the shoe. With our military-grade shoe technology, you'll be able to walk on grass, asphalt, and other surfaces. Gently place your foot in the shoe, secure it in place using our provided algorithm, and forget your shoeless life. Shoe, available now, everywhere. I actually really enjoy using HideMe. It's very comparable to the very top VPNs. The only thing is that their pricing is super confusing. They seem to not have consistent plans or pricing for their service. If I click this button on their website, the longest subscription period I can get is for 6 months and it costs 20 euros. 1 euro is exactly $1 now, so the 6-month plan costs 20 bucks, right? But if I just scroll down to check out other reviews and specifications about the VPN and then click the Get Premium plan, I get a completely different selection of plans and they're way more expensive. For example, 2 years now cost 100 bucks, which is more expensive. While writing this review, I came across these plans. 3 years for 95 bucks, 2 years for 100 bucks, 2 years for 70 bucks, 1 year for 60 bucks, 6 months for 20 bucks. You see what I mean? As far as I can tell, their regular price is 100 bucks for 2 years. However, I believe that I found a reliable way to get a better deal. Download the HideMe app and select the free version. Connect to the USA server and then click Upgrade. Now instead of $100, you'll be paying $70. So we just beat their own system with their own program. Thank me later. All in all, HideMe is a very solid VPN. Yes, it doesn't have some of the more exotic features that other VPNs have, but it's great at just being a simple VPN. But why would you choose this unknown VPN brand over other, more popular options? Well, for me it looks like they're just trying to make a good product for the users without trying to shove it down everyone's throats. I truly believe that HideMe stands amongst the very top VPNs. It just spends less on marketing and that's why it's less known. It also allows me to renew my plan at the same price that I bought it for, unlike some other VPNs. But I suggest you check out their free version yourself and experience the service firsthand. Thanks for watching this rant of a video. I hope I answered some of the questions you had about HideMe, and perhaps I can interest you with another one of my creations. So let's just jump out of it.